Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome co-founder and CEO of Conductor, Seth Besmertnik.
We set a course to find a brand new island everywhere we roam.
Away, away, southern riding in the eyes.
When it's time to find home, we know the way.
Our house on a Saturday at 11, we're all like on our couch, put the girls up on the kitchen countertop, and we're like this, cruising. Love this song. Big up to Moana. Thank you all for being here. I want to start with a story. So, this is Gary. Gary is always the man behind the scenes. I call him the G-man. He's a consultant that we hire every year, and he basically works with me to figure out how to create an amazing presentation for C3. And we have all these like late nights, and there's a sushi place under the building that Gary loves, and it's a fun thing we do every year. But this year when Gary came in, he had like this like pep in his step, like he was just really, really excited. And I asked him, I said, Gary, what's like, you're just a little more, your energy level's different than what it normally is. So he started to tell me about his son. And the story is really about his son, Sam. See, when Sam was a freshman in high school, he did all kinds of stuff. He did ultimate frisbee, he played the trumpet, he took robotics classes. But as Sam went through high school, he started to think about how to get in college. And what he actually did was he went to Google and did a search. It's a very true story. How to get in top colleges. And Sam actually found this article that was right on top, written by a by a Harvard alumni who started an SAT prep course company. And it was a long article, it was about 1,000 words. And what he basically described is that what the criteria that top schools are looking for students has changed. It's no longer about having this very well-rounded, good at everything kind of person. They want students who have a real passion, have a real specialty, and they introduce this idea of a spike. A spike. That's what the great schools want now. So Sam really thought about this, and it resonated with him. He took a cryptography class, and he realized that was part of his passion. So he stopped doing a bunch of the other things he was doing, and he really dove in and really got into this cryptography thing. He found a local professor who was willing to mentor him. He wrote a paper which won an award by Intel and was later presented at a national conference. And he subsequently applied to colleges. So we'll get to the happy ending here, is that Gary's son, Sam, was just accepted into Princeton University. Game-changing thing for the Foreman family. And it's incredibly exciting. Gary, congratulations, baby. Only challenge with this story is Princeton's about $72,000 a year, so Gary keeps trying to renegotiate the contract. A high school freshman gets the knowledge he needs to seek his goals, gets into a great school. A 44-year-old from Cleveland does a Google search for gastric bypass surgery. He finds all the things going on, and he's spooked by the actual procedure. So instead decides to do something different, hires a nutritionist, and over the course of 2 years lost 75 pounds. The neighbor from the apartment that we used to live in, they moved out to New Jersey. We live in the city. They moved out to New Jersey. And the first thing they did was they were researching buying a minivan. So they Googled, what's the safest minivan out there? And they did their research. About a month later, they got front-ended by a drunk driver. Nobody was hurt. No cuts. The kids got out safely. And we found this story, building this keynote about this woman. She was searching for her birth mother, and she was doing it in a Google search. And she found that she eventually connected with her birth mother, and she found out that she had this genetic heart valve problem. So a couple of days later, she went to the doctor and found out that she had it too. In very short order, she had surgery. She was finding out it was a ticking time bomb. She had surgery immediately. And it's almost 5 years now, and she's doing phenomenally well. The thing about these stories is that there's a lot of them, way more than our researchers have time to find. There's 5.5 billion people searching every single day. That's a profound amount of things. And as us in this audience, we look at this from a different lens. We look at our analytics, and we're logging into Search Console, and we're looking at spreadsheets and information. But behind all of this is something way, way bigger, right? It's way, way bigger. This is about people, right? There are billions of people looking for things. There are people like you and like me and our families and our kids and our friends and everyone we know. And we're looking for things and we're looking for questions. And this is not about technology and machine learning and AI. This is about a species of people, us, asking for help. We need help. Because life is hard. As you all know, life is hard. I mean, every day you got to make almost 1,000 decisions a day. You have to, and you have to go through challenges and there's setbacks and things that happen. Life is really hard. And it used to be you couldn't get the help that you want, but now we can just ask the world. We could just ask the world. And what do? We ask Alexa. We go to our phone and we talk to Siri. We go to a search engine and we share our thoughts. We share our needs. We share our curiosities, our anxieties. But it's actually not Google who gives us the answer. What Google does is they just orchestrate all of the things that we like and say are good because they don't actually give the answer. It's the people that give the answer. It's corporations, it's nonprofit organizations, it's videographers, it's the creators, it's the content creators, it's the people who are doing things, it's you guys. You guys are giving the answers. And we all have to think about it this way because we're giving these answers and these answers are powerful and they're having an impact. It's incredibly profound what we're doing. Now, you've heard this saying that the eyes are the window into the soul. We've all heard that before. What we think about is that the search box is like the window into the minds of people. You can learn so much about people. And it's an opportunity that us as marketers have that we've never had before. We never knew all these things. We never knew all the things that are happening. Never knew people's problems and decisions. We just find them when they were already figured out and we're ready to sell them. And having access to this gives us an incredible opportunity to help people. And what's so amazing about this, and this is something we've had this thing, but we really figured this out this year, right? Connected all these dots. Because when you help people, that is the greatest source of personal fulfillment. We are genetically coded. It's deep in our DNA to just want to help people. It feels good. You can't stop it. You cannot stop it. We actually, if you see somebody else helping somebody, it's going to feel good for you. There's chemicals that go into your body. You can't control it. You can't stop it. And it used to be that with marketing, the marketing came from a different place. There's a lot of stuff in marketing. It was about interruption, a little bit of manipulation, kind of stoking people's insecurities a little bit, get them to worry a little bit. But thanks to the incredible empowerment of the customer and people and all of us and the control that we have, these things are coming together. These things are coming together. Their things are coming together. And in our opinion, this is what makes it the most incredible time in the world right now to be a marketer. It's the most incredible time to be a marketer. And you guys, the people in this room, the people in the other room watching, you guys are in the center of it all. And it is absolutely remarkable. And it is an incredible honor to just welcome you guys to C3. Thank you very much. Our mission at Conductor is to help inspire companies and people to use marketing as a way to do good, to help, and to do that and to combine it with our efforts. And C3 is this place. It's our favorite time of the year. We love it here. And it's our place where we can inspire you, give you that annual dose of energy, help you recenter your thinkings, help kill some of those demons in our head about the things we're doing, help give us ideas, help network with you folks. And we're so excited about it. Thank you all for being here. This year, we have something a little extra special that on Monday, Conductor signed a definitive agreement to merge the company with WeWork. And we are incredibly excited about this. It is game-changing news. It's the biggest kind of news ever in our entire industry, and it represents the incredible things that everybody is doing. This is incredible validation. At 4:20 today, the CEO and the co-founder of WeWork is going to be here, and him and I are going to be doing a chat together, and we're going to tell you all about the things that we have planned, but it's going to be like the people at Conductor are so excited. It's going to be so amazing for our customers, It's just phenomenal. If you see conductors and you see them start crying, it's because we're so filled with gratefulness and emotion. It's amazing. I mean, the stuff that we're about to do in the next couple of years for our customers, it's just going to blow you guys away. We have such a phenomenal group of speakers this year. We did a lot of work bringing people here. We did a lot of convincing that it wasn't going to actually snow, so people would get out here. The whole time, they're like, the marketing team's like freaking out, and I'm like, it's not going to snow. It's not going to snow. Don't worry about it. It's not going to snow. So these people are just amazing. And something I always say at C3, I always say this. It's like, if you're going to get one thing out of this event, it is meet people. Go home with 3 phone numbers and email addresses that you didn't have, because look at the people that are here. These are people representing these brands. These are some of the best marketers in the world, some of the nicest people that we know. Our community just happens to be very nice. And just take the time to meet someone. Everybody, just remember that we all didn't come here with a bunch of friends. So maybe it looks like people are talking to people that they know each other. They don't know each other. Go talk to them. Inject yourself in the conversation. Introduce yourself. Someone's sitting on the side, and they look like they want to talk. Invite them into your conversation, right? We can all greatly benefit from that. We have some partners here outside. Now, this is not just any partners. What we actually do is we ask our customers, what's the stuff that you're using that you like the most? Who are the customers and vendors that actually give you the best results? And then we go and solicit them and invite them here. So take the time to meet some of the partners. This is a community effort. No one can do it alone. We can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. We also have some of our data partners. So Conductor really has this open ecosystem where we take lots of data from different sources. We have our own data. We build insights on top of it. We have some incredible partners here. Everybody is here from these companies. Take some time to talk to them. So before I get into stuff, this is a tradition we've always done at Conductor. Since we started the company, we launched a foundation. We always had a culture of giving back, and we think that nonprofits can benefit from it just as much as us. And we have a short video. We're going to roll on that.
The Conductor Foundation is the philanthropic arm of Conductor that helps support the organizations that are cared most about by conductors and by our customers. We help organizations a variety of ways, and one of the key ways is by awarding the Conductor Foundation grant.
The Conductor grant allows us to give Conductor Searchlight, which is our content intelligence platform, to nonprofit organizations for free. So these grant recipients are given full access to Searchlight completely for free for the rest of their life. We've given the grant to a lot of great organizations in the past, including Planned Parenthood, the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, March of Dimes, the 9/11 Memorial Foundation, and St. Jude.
The reason we came up with the grant was because there are a lot of organizations that we want to help, but they're using their resources towards furthering their mission. So instead, what we decided was to take the resource question out of the equation and instead give them the services and product needed to be successful and get their content found.
Amazing. So today we're really excited to announce the 2 winners this year of the Conductor annual grant, which is Habitat for Humanity and Autism Speaks. And we have some folks here for them. If you guys just mind standing up for a second. And if you're from any other nonprofit, you can just stand up. Any nonprofit, stand up. Thank you very much. Thank you guys very much for being here. We are so excited to work with you. So before we get into all the good stuff that we have today, I just want to take just 20 seconds and just thank you guys. Like, completely thank you guys. Conductor would be nothing without the incredible support of our partners and our customers. Thank you so much. Every time you give us praise or any kind of interaction, just working with us, we use that to just make ourselves better and better and better. So just, on behalf of all the people at Conductor, just thank you very much. We really appreciate you guys. And I want to just call out in this year one particular special thank you. So over here, I've got the 3 most important people in my life, my wife and my 2 girls. And they're actually here, sitting here. If you guys just don't mind standing up for a second. My 2 daughters. Daddy doesn't curse on stage this year. Love you guys. So today we're going to just talk about this idea of customer-first marketing. It's a really cool idea. It's really important. And there's a lot that goes into it. There's strategy, There's a whole economic side and a business side. And unlike a lot of other strategies, this requires a significant, like, personal life commitment. And we're going to talk about life commitment and other things later on. The first thing I want to talk about is the strategy side. So all the strategy begins with is the customer, right? Starts with the customer. Marketing came from this place where you had a very captive audience. You give them your message, they're there to listen to it. And today, it's all changed. People are in control in a radical way. You want a taxi outside, it says 2 minutes, but it shows up in 3, not good enough. I want that taxi now. You're not feeling good and you want to talk to someone, you want it on text or email, you can get therapy when you want it. You want instant streaming of friends? Not a problem. I'll give that to you immediately on your phone. You want to hire a receptionist to turn on in an hour to handle some extra traffic coming to your site? No problem. You can do that. Just press a button, go to a website. If you want same-day delivery of a t-shirt gun for your annual company kickoff with a CO2 cartridge to match, you can do that as well. And if it's a late night with your friends and you're ordering Domino's and not knowing that it's going to be here in 20 minutes enough, if you want to track the guy on his bicycle and see him coming to you, you can do that too, because people want what they want now. They want it all, they want it all, and they want it all. And the old tools of marketing, they're just becoming obsolete, right? Advertising is just more expensive, retail distribution is hard, and even this idea of a brand, right? The brand is being compromised. This millennial movement is more willing to try new things. They're more willing to, they're almost looking to do something not against the brand. And most importantly, it is just hard to buy attention. It's hard to buy attention, but we're in control. And what that means is that you can't buy attention, you have to earn it. You have to earn it. And the only way to earn attention is by giving someone something valuable. That's something useful, something worthwhile, something that helps them. Now, this changes our whole approach to marketing, because you have to start everything you do with a few different questions. We used to start marketing campaigns with these kinds of questions, right? Who do we sell our stuff to? And how do we get them to buy more? And the new way of doing marketing starts with a whole different set of questions, right? And these are the questions of, what are the problems that we solve? And how can we help people solve them? And where are people going to find solutions to these problems? Now, let me give you a few examples of what I'm talking about here. So we're going to spend a little time in the world of hair color, something very near and dear to my heart. Daddy's funny. So this is a very kind of quintessential experience. Great, beautiful website. You can see the products. You have filtering on the right side, on the left side. You have search boxes. You have pricing. We've all seen this. This is what 99% of the e-commerce experience looks like. Here's another example right here. Now here's something a little different. So this is from a company called Madison Reed. And when you actually go to look at their products, you see something a little different. What you get is this quiz, right? First thing you press. What do you want to do? You want to touch up your roots, you want to change your hair, or not sure, just exploring? I was looking for a button like grow it back, but they didn't have that button. But you go through this process, you keep going through it. What color options are you interested in? Do you have any gray hair? Never that. And eventually you get to the final page where it says, what would you like to see in your color? You hit the button and then you press this magic button called your perfect match. Boom. Press the button, and there's a very, very targeted list of curated products, right? Curated products exactly for what you want, right? Amazing experience. So simple, but very beautiful. Now check this out. People love this. They absolutely love this. And you can tell they love it because when you search for almost anything in hair dye, hair color charts, there's millions of searches that are happening. You search for anything, these guys show up #1. And they're beating the biggest companies in the world and the companies that are the most established companies in the world. Because what they've basically done is they said, instead of just like, hey, welcome to my store on the left, go look for everything. Grab a shopping cart, have fun. They're saying, no. Think about, you're on vacation and there's a concierge. So I'm only here in town for 1 day. Here's what you'd like to do. Oh, let me ask you questions. Okay, you do this. Okay, here's exactly what you want to do. It's a whole different experience. So simple. And you know what? The results speak for themselves because these guys are absolutely killing it. They are killing it. Their revenue is growing, their traffic is growing, they're raising more money, and they are just doing phenomenal. I think we have someone from Madison Reed in the state here today. Hey, Mr. Rogers, what's up, baby? Stand up, Eric, come on. Dude, amazing stuff. And this applies to every business. B2B, B2C, name a category, this applies to your business. And this is also why we tell our customers, and we do this on our phone calls, and we do this on our monthly industry updates, that the days of treating search engines and people differently, those days are over, right? The days of chasing algorithms, because there's only one algorithm that really matters. There's only one algorithm that matters, is giving people value, and it's the heart and the mind and the soul of the customer. And that's what matters. That's the long game. That's what's going to work. And we got customers doing this all over the place. Salesforce.com, one of the greatest companies in the world, they realize that people need help with CRM. They need help figuring out the problem. They need help figuring out the whole landscape that's very daunting. They created this phenomenal pieces of content. If you search almost anything CRM, even just the word CRM, almost all other industries, you get publisher sites. But in this industry, they created a base of content. Todd's here from Salesforce. He's going to be speaking later. Thank you for making a trip from Seattle, brother. Another customer doing some phenomenal stuff, Fender. Now, these guys know musicians. They know musicians. They sell guitars. They sell products. But they also know musicians have lots of different challenges. So they have all these different types of piece of content. If you want to learn about, if you have problems with tuning your guitar, tuning your products, they created this incredible experience. And what they've done is they've merchandised their products into this experience. It's not content over here and then buying over here. It's a blended experience. This drives lots of traffic and lots of revenue. And then here's another story. Kind of think it's like a little bit of David and Goliath, because there's this company, Republic Wireless. It's a mobile phone provider. And they know that people know really nothing about Wi-Fi calling, but a lot of people look for Wi-Fi calling. So they created this beautiful piece of content that takes Wi-Fi calling and have all this education, and eventually it leads them into what they do. And this actually drives some of the most revenue in their entire business. And check this out. These guys are just crushing the biggest companies in the world. Now, if you're one of the biggest companies in the world, it doesn't mean that you're at a disadvantage. It just means that we got to give the best things to our customer. And my point of all of this is a bunch of points. One of them is just content drives revenue. Content drives revenue because it's what customers want. It drives revenue because customers want, and then content is for all the stages of the buyer journey. This idea of like, well, there's the people over here who make content to educate the customers, but then the product teams work differently, or merchandising, or product managers, no. It has to be an integrated experience. You have to reorganize around the customer. And this stuff's not just about content. We rebuilt our entire sales process at Conductor. We rebuilt the whole process, and we call it customer-first selling. And it's one of our biggest initiatives this year, where our mission is just to educate people. The first thing you do when you go in our sales process is you get webinars that get sent to you, and we actually talk about our competitors. We say, here are the different options in the industry. Here's why they're good. Here's the different things. Because we know that helping the customer be smarter and educating them, it's going to lead to trust. It's going to lead to good stuff. Put the customer first in everything you do. Now, that's a little bit on the strategy. The other part of customer first is that it requires different economics. It's a different business model that it takes to really pull this off. And I like to call it getting the cheddar. Getting the cheddar, getting the money. Now, getting the money and it's not just money, it's resources, it's buy-in is really difficult. And we know that people have a lot of challenges. While we were putting this presentation, I was forwarded an email from a customer who's actually here today. And this is what it was said. It said, I'm asked to meet the same annual targets as paid, yet I'm 30% of their annual budget. Oh, does that say 31%? Wrong. It actually said 0.31% of their budget. 0.31% of their budget. This is one cheddarless dude, right? This is not a good example. And I wish this was a one-off, but we see this all over the place, where there's high expectations, not enough resources, and it's a real challenge. And if we want to help the most amount of people possible, we got to get the resources, and that means we got to sharpen our muscles here. We got to sharpen our muscles here, and we have to take ownership of this because there's a lot of things that we can do. So we've been doing a bunch of stuff at Conductor because just like our customers are trying to convince internally, we also meet with companies all the time. And we're always trying to get them, to inspire them and evoke action. And we've learned some things, and I'm going to share a couple of them. So the first thing is that the leadership doesn't know what's going on. They can't see things. And there's a human trait that people are just intrinsically reactive. If there's not a problem or there's something to react to, then they don't see it. So what we need to do is help them see the problem. And the problem is that companies are just not being found. No matter how good you're doing, there's lots of stuff that you're not being found for. Whether it's problems you solve or how people solve it, you're not being found. You have to show up for it. So the first thing we always do when we meet with a new company, or even when we do our QBRs with our customers, is we show stuff like this. Really cool stuff. There's over 30 million. This is actually, I grabbed this from a deck that we use for a Fortune 500 optometry company. And they're a big multi-billion-dollar company. And we came in there and we're like, hey, you guys are the market leader. There's 30 million people looking for what you do on a monthly basis, the problems you solve, and you guys show up 3% of the time. And then we broke this out by the buyer journey. When you first learn that you might have an eye and retinal problem, when you're deciding between different options, disposable contacts or regular glasses versus contacts, and then even when you're actually ready to buy a contact, you know you want disposable contacts, and these guys are just not showing up. So this is a great way to articulate this, and we have some customers that are doing these monthly State of the Unions. Every month, their leadership knows where they stand. It keeps the problem alive. It keeps the reactive nature evoked. It keeps the priority. Now, in addition to this, we always like to include the personal stories, right? So we like to show, hey, even though there's 30 million people looking, let's just look at one example of one person. So we show an individual example. We'll show a SERP or an individual example of someone looking for something and show them actually, this guy just learned that he needs glasses and he doesn't know what to do but smile. But you got to bring that emotion, top down, bottoms up. It's got great teeth. So that's one challenge we have. We have other problems, right? I call them ROI problems. This year we did this big survey for customers and marketers in general to get lots of data really around this problem, and we found some really interesting things. They just like stood off the page. It blew us away. One is 75%, almost 75% of the companies that were surveyed, they don't track ROI. They're not tracking ROI. They don't have a systematic way to do it. Now that's obviously a problem if your bonus is paid on a number that's not there. But more importantly, how are you going to invest in the channel if you're not doing it? So if you don't have an ROI model, use it as an opportunity to create one. Because it's better to have something than it is to have nothing, and come up with one. Now, for the companies that do have ROI, there's some interesting things to think about. And these are just ideas that we're sharing, and we're thinking these things through, and our engineering is thinking these things through, because we want to help you guys with this, and we have some cool stuff we're going to show. But one of the things I see often is this idea. So you did a great job last year. You got your traffic up. You did a great job. And for some reason, it's like, well, everything you did last year is guaranteed to return this year. Does anyone have this situation where it's like, well, it's just expected? Well, I got 1 million visitors, so obviously the baseline is 1 million. Anything that you do is just 1 million plus, which is this idea here, right? And I look at this and I'm like, you're not getting set up for success here, right? This is the wrong way to look at it. There's no other place where you can say, everything you did last year is going to come back even if we did anything. It's the opposite. You stop doing stuff, and what do you get? You stop doing everything. You shut off. What happens? You get 0. So I'm not saying it's 0, and I don't have the exact formula here, but there's a negotiation here that has to happen. And the reason why this is so important is because you've got to set yourself up for success, right? And again, got to set up for success. Because when you get success, you get resources. Resources, you can help more people. Another interesting idea, right? So you create a piece of content, and you look at the value in a given time period. But the thing about content is it lives for a long time. And a lot of our customers are getting content for 12 months, 24 months. So you got to start to think about the life of a piece of content and look at different metrics. It's very similar to the software and the SaaS industry, where SaaS companies look at metrics very differently. So we think about this at Conductor. Later today, right in this session, we're going to show you some new stuff we built. It's actually a little bit of a screenshot for it, where you can actually see things like the lifetime value of a piece of content or groups of content, and then anticipated future content based on what you've done. But this is a better way to do it, because it's like an asset on your books. So another interesting thing we found, really, this is really awesome stuff. Budgeting. So 75% of the budgets that are presented, and budgeting is this process that there's no way to escape it. It's the way that resources are allocated in any organization. 75%, there's no outcomes. And the first thing that popped into my mind is this crazy vending machine, where you don't know how much money you put in, and you don't know what you're going to get out, but you're expecting someone to put money into it. And that just doesn't make any sense to me, because when we present budgets, we should look at things like, hey, here's a scenario. You put in, this is the status quo, same money as last year. We're going to get some money back. And then maybe we put some more money in, here's some options, present different outcomes. Maybe if they do the same as last year, it's not going to go down, but take a stab at this, right? And again, this is important stuff because we're running the show. This is not going to come from someplace else. It has to come from the group of people in this room. And on that note, there's a last piece of this, which is this idea that I've seen in our industry for a long time, which I call, no budget, no quota, which is this concept of, well, if you don't, you'd rather not have a budget, you don't have a quota, you have a goal. And I think for all of us, right, we all have to desire to have goals. We need to set up. We need to have personal goals. This is the way we succeed. Now, just talking about myself every year, since I started Conductor, every year we have a budget and we have a goal. Now, I think I have a couple of our investors in the room here. How often do I hit the goal?
Never.
Tyler from Catalyst, Rami, Amish. These are my investors. So I think it's been like 2 or 3 years we hit the number. Last year was a good year. We did 97% of our goal. But I'm still standing. And I'm standing with a smile, right? Because we set the goal, we had the target, and we work on it, and we learn, and we learn. And that's just it's a really good thing. And that's why that leads me to the last piece of this, which is the real personal side of this. And this, we're going to get deep for a little bit right here. We're going to get a little deep. We have an opportunity, right, to do amazing things. If you think about many of your dreams and things that you want in life, we're in a place where we can actually make that happen. The opportunity in our industry and the opportunity in our community, it is enormous. And we're just at the very beginning of it. And it's crazy because sometimes I hear people say to me, it's like, hey, people call me for jobs and when I change, and they say, hey, you know what, I want to be a CMO one day, so maybe I'm going to jump over to this side of the marketing and leave this community here. And I'm just like, that's crazy. That is crazy. Because when I look at the future, and I think about the future leaders and the future CEOs and the future CMOs and all the leaders, they're going to come from this room right here. It's the folks that focus on the customer. What's the greatest company in the world right now from a revenue perspective? Amazon. And what does their CEO talk about all the time? Customers, customers, customers. And that's what we've been doing for the last decade, is looking at what customers are doing and trying to answer their questions. Now, if you want to get the fruits of all this opportunity, you want to be the CEO, you want to be the CMO, you want to grow, it's not just going to come to us. Because unfortunately, as most of us know here, nothing good in life just lands in our pocket. I've just been waiting for the day. I just open up the pocket and things land. It requires us to do the hardest thing in the world. Anyone want to take a guess at what the hardest thing in the world to do is? The hardest thing for us to do? Anyone want to take a guess, Nicole? Change. Changing is the hardest thing for human beings to do, is to change. But your willingness to change, and changing is growing, changing is development. Your willingness to do that, I promise, will be 100% commensurate with the success and the growth and the outcomes you see in your life. Change anything in your life, grow, learn. Someone once said to me, if you're not working on something, are you really making progress? No, at Conductor, we take this real seriously. So this is an actual screenshot from our dashboard that we used at our kickoff this year on January 22nd. And you can see here, we've got our performance goals, we've got our people and culture goals, and then we have this be your best self category. And the whole company is this one life change. And amongst all the crazy things that we're doing and all the software we're rolling out and partnerships and all this stuff, the thing that I'm most excited about is if I can get 210 people to all just grow and develop and change and become better and reach their potential faster, I mean, that's like doubling my head count without doing that. There's so much power. There's magic that can come from that. So we rolled out this initiative, and everybody's working on it. And what we've seen, actually, is that as a group, we can help each other in a way that is very hard to actually get on your own. So what we have is these little pieces of paper. This is Nicole's right here. She's our head of people. Round of applause for Nicole for volunteering to do this today. So Nicole is a new mother, and for anyone who's a new mother or mother in the room, it's hard to make yourself a priority, right? It's hard to do that. And through this process of when we rolled this out, Nicole realized she needs to make herself a higher priority, right? And we all know that. So we're all helping Nicole as part of that process. She's working on it, and it's front and center. It's right on her desk every day. Now, for me, I have one too, right? I want to be more centered. I want to use more energy for myself and less reliant on other things and other external sources to get energy. That's what I'm working on. My company knows that. Now, for everybody in this room, there's lots of stuff to work on. Nobody is perfect or even close to it, and we'll never get there. But there's whether it's something on this list right here, or whether it's something I've talked about, or something you're going to learn later today, or something tomorrow, or something you got to go home and ask your friends or your family, the people around you the most tend to know the things that you can work on. Don't judge yourself. Don't be upset. Don't judge yourself. We all have to work on it. But this is really important, and it's really important to our personal growth and our success. And there's nothing more that would make me excited than to see the people in this room 5 years from now just be incredibly successful. I'm so excited about that. And in everybody's bag, we have a little card, which is exactly what we've done at the company. And this card is an optional exercise, and you can do one of these, write down something you want to work on, anything you want to work on, anything you want to learn. Maybe you want to get better at budgeting. Maybe you want to get better at understanding the tactical side. Maybe you're not technical enough, right? Fortunately and unfortunately, we have to be very well-rounded to be successful in this space. This is not just a one-trick kind of thing. So we have this, and everybody at Conductor, we are here to help. We are here to help. We're all aware of this, and we will do anything that we can to be a part of this. And there's nothing more that I'd love to see than next year come back and have people sharing some of these stories. And I'm here to help personally. This is my email address. Send me a note. I've got a lot of emails the last 3 days, so maybe wait till Monday. But we really want this for everybody, because we know that if you guys can grow and be more successful, then know what that means. It means more good, more helping customers, more of everything. And for us, that is everything at Conductor, right? And we're just so excited about. So let's do amazing things in the world. Let's help our customers, and let's just do some awesome stuff. Thank you, guys. So this wouldn't be a C3 keynote if we didn't share some of the amazing stuff that our engineers are working on. These guys are just doing phenomenal work. We're so excited to share what they have. And why should you pay attention? I've got 4 reasons right now why you guys should really pay attention, right? So, hey, what are you guys doing?
Someone said 4 seasons?
No, 4 reasons. 4 reasons.
Oh.
I think you're a little early for the show.
You don't need us.
Yeah. Hold on. You guys want these guys to stay for a couple minutes? Ladies and gentlemen, the Jersey Boys.
Can you come out tonight? Come out tonight. Sherry, baby. Sherry, baby. Sherry, can you come out tonight?
Why don't you come on?
Come on.
Why don't you come on?
Put your red dress on. Come on. You look so fine. Come on. Move it nice and easy. Girl, you make me lose my mind. Big girls don't cry. Big girls don't cry. Big girls don't cry. They don't cry. Big girls don't cry.
You said they don't cry.
My girl said goodbye.
My oh my.
My girl
Silly girl.
Shame on you, your mama said.
Silly girl.
Shame on you, you cried in bed.
Silly girl.
Shame on you, you told a lie. Big girls do cry. Big girls don't cry.
They don't cry.
Big girls don't cry.
That's just an alibi.
Big girls don't cry. Big girls don't cry. Ooh, wee, ooh,
Walk.
ooh, wee, ooh,
Walk like a man.
oh, how you try out. Put me down to science. Telling dirty liars to my friend. My own father said, give her up, don't bother. The world isn't coming to an end.
He said, walk like a man, talk like a man, walk like a man, my son. No one is worth calling on the earth.
So walk like a man, my son. Ooh,
Walk,
ooh,
walk like a man, like a
That was the Tony and Grammy Award-winning hit musical Jersey Boys with Aaron DeJesus, Corey Giacomo, Drew Serks, and Mark Edwards, New York's Jersey Boys.
We're just getting started. We're just getting started.